John?
You've averaged almost 250 yards a game rushing in the last 3 games. Where has been the greatest advance in that part of the game?
The line blocking, the tight end blocking, also the receiver blocking is elevated the last couple weeks as well and been better. Also the backs, Hassan, Zach, True, those two, and then good to see True get some good carries as well, and so those 3 units.
Front right, Ashley.
Jim, Shea was active in the run game pretty early, and I know some of that was probably by necessity with the weather, but how necessary is that for him to be active to kind of open things up for the running backs and keep the defense on their toes?
Yeah, I think it was especially important in this game, and something that we had talked about and Shea embraced. When you're running the ball and you know both sides know that you're running, that having that quarterback as a potential threat or a runner is key. I thought Shea was really fast too. I thought it was his fastest game that he's played as a runner, and just moving around, scrambles. One time you could really tell when he got the block that was at least a distraction on True's touchdown. I mean, he was really moving, but he looked really quick and fast. It helped a lot.
On the left, Larry.
Jim, can you give us an update on Ronnie, and can you talk about how Mike made the most of his opportunities in that game in particular?
Yeah, no update on Ronnie. Mike really made the most of his opportunities, no question. Made the big 3rd down catch early in the game, which was great to see, and that's when it was tough to catch the ball at that point, when it was really raining in the first half. And the touchdown was terrific. He got wide open, and Shea found him for a big gain as well. But those 3 catches made a big impact. I thought he also blocked well. He was hustling around, and really seeing a lot of growth from Mikey. Lately, the last 4 weeks, especially in practice, he's really gained a lot of confidence in catching the football, and he's always been really good, route running, but he went through a little spell there where he wasn't catching the ball great, and now his confidence is back and surging.
In the middle, Chris.
There have been some game-changing pass interference calls in college football. Where are you on replay for pass interference? Would you be for it?
Yeah.
At the NFL? Yeah, would it matter, though? It doesn't seem to have made a huge difference in the NFL, the way they've called it. Do you think it would matter? I guess it's
Yeah, I don't understand that, why those aren't being called, but every time I watch a game, I hear the commentators commentating on how they shouldn't challenge it because it's not going to get overturned. None of them get overturned, and then when one happens and they don't challenge it because they say then they should have challenged it. I don't understand. I don't know. I'm not privy to any of the what's going on with that. So you have to ask some of the pro coaches that.
Will you see your brother this week?
Hopefully. I know he's got a big game against the Patriots. So we'll see.
In the middle, Isaiah.
We haven't gotten to see much of Luigi Villain, but he obviously got in late and made a big play. What have you seen out of him?
Tackle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What have you seen out of him in his ascension, and what obviously that was a big play. Does he look like he's been ready to kind of make some of those big plays like he had late in the game?
Yeah, story on Luigi, he missed both his freshman and sophomore year due to injury, and he's persevered. He's maintained I'd say as good as attitude as you could have, having some of those setbacks. So I think some of those tests have made him stronger and better, and he's in his redshirt sophomore season, and good to see him get his first tackle and have some success. But yeah, definitely been seeing the the growth.
On the left, Andrea.
Jim, this is the first time we've seen you here at a press conference since you sent the letter out to recruits. I was just hoping you could tell us why you felt the need to send that out.
To our parents, keep the lines of communication open with our parents. Always have had a policy of that.
The phrase enemies that was in there, can you give us a little more insight into what you were referring to there?
Well, it wasn't really for public consumption, but okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, use that term, or maybe the term of people that choose not to tell the truth. Would have been as appropriate or more appropriate.
In the front there, Brandon.
How much is it a process for you guys to have blended, I guess, some of the offensive material from last year with the new concepts that you've tried to implement this year? How much has it been a process trying to blend some of the elements of the offense from last year to with and in years prior with the concepts you're implementing this year?
Exact amount of what the process has been. It's been a process. Yeah.
What does that entail, I guess, trying to, I mean, and how much does that change week to week with you guys?
Well, it changes the amount that it changes. I mean, you like your opponent to think that it could, all possibilities are possible when it comes to schematics.
On the right here, Steve.
Jim, could you talk about Jalen Mayfield? What he's the young guy on your line, and how he's fit in with the veterans and what he brings you.
Yeah, fits in really good. He's done an outstanding job as a freshman, redshirt freshman that he is. You know, very athletic. I think you could really see how much he was into it in this ball game, and you know, plays with means a lot to him. And I just think, you know, where he's come, kind of a reflection of our whole team. Probably the thing that stood out to me the most from the ball game Saturday night was just how much unconditional belief our players had in each other and themselves. And it was like as high as I've ever seen it. I mean, like practically 100% of. They knew they would get their own job done. They knew that the player next to them would get their job done. It was just what they knew.
So this older lineman can trust Jalen to get his job done.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I noticed on Saturday night. To a man, across the board, you know, starters and backups. You know, I just saw our players go into that game confident in their ability to get their own job done, and confident in each and every other man to get their job done unconditionally. It was just impressive.
In the front here, Angelique.
Jim, how have you seen Josh Gaddis evolve as a coordinator through these first 7 games?
Yeah, doing really well. You know, he works extremely hard at it. You know, watches every bit of tape that can be watched, and he trusts the players trust him. They have that same unconditional belief that, and I would say the same for the coaches. I mean, and he believes he's going to get his job done, and the players believe he's going to get his job done. And
do you get the sense that this is a little personal for him going into this game, coaching and calling a game against Loxley?
I've really felt that he's been personally invested in every spring practice. Number one, I could go back to just impressed with how personal it was to him that those practices were good. Same in training camp, same in the games. I mean, he's been 100% invested.
I just meant because of their history and the words exchanged in the early part of the season from Big Ten media days.
Yeah, and I would go back to every practice I've seen him in every game. He's been as invested as you could possibly be. You know, so I would expect the same this week.
In the back left, Daniel.
What stands out to you most about Dax's progression within this season?
His mind for the game. He is a really smart player. He understands beyond his years. A couple of plays stood out. The 2 fumble recoveries. I mean, he just knew. Like even when he was 20 yards away, maybe 15, 220, whatever it was, 18. He could see the play developing in front of him, and most of the time, ball on the ground, 3, 4 people around it. You're 18 yards away. You don't think you're going to get there, but he just knew to accelerate and went in like an arrow through snow to get the football and come up with that recovery. I thought that was really impressive. There was another throw to the boundary away from our sideline where he had the good coverage. Just sensed the sideline and saw the pass was high and was just as smooth as he could be in not holding or grabbing or he just saw it all and calculated all those things and let the pass be incomplete. And there's so many examples like that where he's got a real intuition for the game.
How much of that do you feel like is natural that he's always done versus what he's learned this season, given the increased snaps it feels like with every week?
Yeah, the experience, the coaching, and the reps that he's had as a football player since he was very young. How much is each? I don't know for sure, but sure that they all play a role.
Got time for a couple more. Starting the front laner.
Can you take me back to the hiring process of Josh? I know Maryland was very much interested in bringing him aboard, and did you get the sense that he was conflicted about where to go at that point?
I think all that ground's been pretty well plowed, well documented. I don't think there's any need to take you back to it. I'm just really interested in game planning this week, and I'll focus on this game. This big game for us.
Is that a tough decision for when a coach has to choose between
You can probably talk to Josh, rather than me speculate.
On the left, Larry.
Jim, when you look back to when your team started to click against Penn State and then through Notre Dame, my question is, do you believe in momentum in football? That one game can carry over to the next, or does each game stand on its own and there's no momentum?
I don't exactly know the formula on that one either. Momentum, Albert Einstein, I think he had a formula. But I don't have a formula on that one. Hey, sorry.
Speaking of momentum, what was when you watched the Spinellis play at the end of the game, what was your impression of that?
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good play by him.
The players enjoy watching. I mean, it seemed like you got a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that could there's probably Einstein's relativity with mass and momentum and speed, acceleration, force. He could explain it. I lost my excellence in math right after long division, so.
Last question there, Andrea.
As a follow-up to the momentum thing, you might not have a formula for that, but the confidence, you were saying everybody kind of believing in each other in this game, you saw it in spades. How can that now continue to carry through the rest of the season for you guys?
That does bode well. That is, that unconditional belief in each other is huge in my opinion.